This movie didn't work for me.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Me too. Spike Lee tackles Akira Kurosawa remaking High and Low as highest to lowest. It's dropping this weekend on Apple TV Plus after a brief theatrical run. Christy, how's it go? What's he do? How's it work?
Yeah, this is great. This is like Spike Lee's most purely entertaining film in a really long time, like maybe since Inside Man, which also starred Denzel Washington.
Somebody's kidnapped our son.
$17.5 million in an all-black Jordan backpack.
Try me if you think I'm playing.
I ain't got.
So Spike and Denzel are back together again. This is their fifth film together. And from the very start, this movie grabs you. I mean, it is High and Low. If you've seen High and Low, this has the bones of it. This has the structure of it. This film is based on both the Evan Hunter novel, but also the Akira Kurosawa original. It's all there in the credits. So if you've seen High and Low, or even if you haven't, this is basically the same structure where you have this very powerful executive. Here he is a record industry executive played by Denzel Washington. His name is David King. King's Ransom is the name of the novel that all of this is based on. He's literally on top of the world. He lives in this penthouse in Brooklyn, on the Brooklyn side, overlooking the bridge, overlooking Manhattan. The title sequence is glorious. The use of music and the lighting and just the camera work, it's an absolutely gorgeous opening that really puts you in the mood for the kind of glossy, glittery New York this is going to be. At first, the highest part, that is,
right.
Until it becomes the lowest part. Jeffrey Wright plays his right-hand man. They are old friends. Jeffrey Wright's character has been in some trouble in the past, but is like his driver and his confidant and just there for everything he needs. The two teenage sons are best friends. Denzel's character, David King, gets word that his son's been kidnapped from this basketball camp that he has been going to. But as in High and Low, it turns out there's a mistake. Actually, the best friend, Jeffrey Wright's son, is the one who gets kidnapped. And so the question becomes, will this very wealthy, powerful person pay the ransom? He can afford it. Will he do it? But he also needs that money to take over the record company that he built. He feels like it's not going in the direction he wants. He wants to seize total power of it, but he needs this money. So does he spend it on, getting the kid out for ransom, or does he spend it to further his own ambitions? This is a thrillingly made film. There is one sequence in particular, and this also exists in the Kurosawa original, with the money being brought to the kidnappers. And it's this fantastic slice of life of New York on the subway, on the 4 train, going from Brooklyn up to the Bronx on the day that the Yankees are playing the Red Sox and it's the Puerto Rican Day Parade. And so you have all this stuff happening in terms of various kinds of New York culture. It is so immersive. I actually felt like, did they shoot it on the subway, in a clandestine way? Because sometimes it feels like Denzel with the sunglasses on, with the hat pulled down, is being shot kind of in between people on the train, almost like it's like a hidden camera kind of thing. It's so immersive, so well done. And with each stop, as they get closer and closer to Yankee Stadium, more people come on. And so having to pull off this mission gets more and more complicated, more and more stressful. And it cuts between the music and all the things that are happening all over the place. Funnily enough, between this and Caught Stealing, we have 2 movies with a chase that takes place on the subway during a baseball game. But that's a Mets game coming out of the Mets game. This is going into the Yankees game.
This is true.
So I thought Denzel is just in command at his full power, and he and Spike Lee have just such a fantastic way with understanding each other. There's such comfort there in those performances that he gives for Spike Lee films. Once again, Matthew Libatique shot this, who has shot a lot of Spike Lee movies recently.
And who shot Caught Stealing.
And who shot Caught Stealing, and who has shot Bradley Cooper stuff and Darren Aronofsky stuff. So anyway, I really enjoyed this. The thing, though, with a lot of Spike Lee movies, and this happens here, is it does not know when to end. There's a really beautiful place for it to end that kind of ties up all of these themes, and it just keeps going. There's a high point, a thrilling moment. you can end here. And then like the wind kind of goes out of it. But I liked it for a long time.
This movie didn't work for me.
Oh no!
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Me too, because you were raving about it, and I thought
Good.
all the elements here, the ingredients are here. I think Denzel has a scene toward the end of the movie that is extraordinary. That is, I've come to this place with Denzel Washington where I find him to be very often as an actor really kind of staid and a little, I don't know. I think there's something about where his gravitas to me reads as stiff. So if you put him in something like Gladiator 2, where he's just like, fuck it, and like throwing it all at the wall, I'm down for that. I'm down for experimental, not caring, you know, or like, I mean, controlled chaos, Denzel Washington, as opposed to like, yes. So there's a scene late in this film where he has a confrontation with a young rapper played by A$AP Rocky that is electrifying and is some of the best work I've ever seen him do. And for the rest of this movie, I was kind of bored by him. I agree with you. The subway stuff is very cool. That one sequence is great. And you can tell like it's not only Spike reenacting that sequence from High and Low, but it's like his kind of, you know, taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 sort of, you know, action
French
thing.
Connection.
Yes, exactly. I want to call out, and I need to get the name in front of me because this is a thing that made me insane.
Oh no.
Oh shoot. Oh, here we go. The composer, one Howard Drawson.
Okay.
This is the most oppressive movie score I have heard in I don't know how long. Like
Yeah.
it is very traditional orchestral, but it is played at such a volume and it is so inescapable. Like there are no scenes in this movie practically that don't have the score blaring at you, telling you what you're supposed to be feeling about it, that it was actively driving me crazy. I was like, oh my God, could we shut up with the horn section already and let me just experience this film? So that was terrible. The fact that Spike Lee cast Dennis from 30 Rock as the obnoxious cop kept taking me out of it because I keep thinking of him for like his insurance commercials.
Dean
Like
Winters.
he's a talented performer, but in this role, I was like, all I could think of is everything else that he does. And it kept getting in the way of the film. And then speaking of sort of self-conscious filmmaking, Lee does this thing and you know, he's never afraid to like, you know, show himself as the you know, standing between the audience and the screen. But there are these edits in the film where like it's a little bit of a couple of seconds overlap between things, and he does it early on. You're thinking, okay, well that's going to be a thing that he's doing here, and then he stops, and then it comes back in like one scene, and then it stops again. I'm like, were those mistakes? Was this an idea that you dropped? Like, I don't know.
It's like a double hug thing, right? You'll see them like hug twice.
Yeah, that
say,
thing.
like, love you more. And like, you know, a repetition to that.
Like he's shaking hands with somebody and it comes from both angles. And I'm like, okay, so that's a thing. We're doing something with that. And then it's not a thing. So I don't know. I found myself, and yeah, it ends and then it keeps going. That was frustrating. So there are things I can cherry pick out of this movie, be like, this was great and this was cool and this was an interesting idea. And maybe it didn't help that I had just seen High and Low for the first time, but when you remake a movie, you are setting yourself up for that. So, you know, that's on you, Spike Lee. You chose to make this movie and to you could have said, oh, it's based on the novel. No. You said it's based on the novel and it's based on High and Low. So if I go see High and Low first and bring that into the movie theater with me, that's just how it goes. So
I saw them the other way around.
Okay. That might have
Maybe
helped.
that's why
them.
I liked it better.
So yeah, I was really let down by this. I was expecting that it was going to be thrilling and it is sometimes. Jeffrey Wright obviously is always great. But yeah, I was disappointed by this.
The thing with the horns, I do agree it is obtrusive. It felt like this guy's version of a Terrence Blanchard score, who usually does a lot of Spike Lee scores. I wonder if it's intended to heighten your sense of anxiety, like that feeling that you were feeling of it being like annoying. I wonder if that is intentional, kind of like, you know, how there are parts of Challengers where the
Yeah.
score is too loud and it's almost like a character in the sauna with them. I wonder if that's the intention there.
I usually know the difference. So I don't know. Maybe, yeah, who knows? Perhaps, yes,
Maybe.
that was an intentional thing. But in any event, it worked too well, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I thought the production design was really well done here in terms of like showing you the opulence of his life. I mean, down to like his Basquiat's and what looks like an original piece of the scoreboard from Ebbets Field. Like,
yes,
he lives in the kind of place that this kind of music industry titan would live in, like this 2-story penthouse at the top of this like grand gleaming skyscraper.
With two spiral staircases,
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
But here's the other thing about Denzel Washington. I never believed that his character liked music. Like the whole thing about this character is always got the best ears in the business, and he's this kingmaker and he's a brilliant music producer, and it's like I don't know. I've seen, documentaries about actual sort of music moguls, and I never had that moment of like, okay, yes, you are somebody who wakes up and goes to sleep thinking about music. That did not come through his performance for me that way.
That comes through for me as the film goes on. As he goes from highest to lowest, and he gets back to his roots, thematically, geographically.
Right.
I believed it more, and more of his true self came out when he's not in the heights of his penthouse, with his expensive suits, when he has to like get back to who he was. Then that love of music, then that passion comes through, I thought.
Relatively, yes. I'll give you that.
All right. Well, this is really surprising. What is your number then on highest to lowest?
I mean, there's a lot of craft and there's a lot that really works, but I'll say like a 6.2.
Oh, I thought you'd be lower than that.
I mean, maybe I should be. I don't know. I never know what the numbers. Okay, I'm fine. I'm a 5.5 then.
Be a 5.5. I didn't mean to talk you down, but I was just surprised. I will say an 8 because I really liked it for a long time, but I think he bobbles the ending. So highest to lowest is out there on Apple TV Plus now. It has been in theaters. It might still be in theaters near you. We'll have a separate review of High and Low, so keep an eye out for that as well.